Under the Lights postgame show presented by KEYSYS. AI solutions tailored to your business. KEYSYS.io. We got a lot to talk about in week 3. We had a game on Thursday night. We had a bunch here on Friday night. The game of the week here at Hewitt-Trussville Stadium lived up to the billing. Hewitt-Trussville wins 28-14 over Vestavia Hills. We're going to talk about that game and a lot more. Let's get into it. Talking a little bit about this Hewitt-Trussville victory over Vestavia Hills. The Huskies really impressive on their home field tonight, 28-14. Joined by Husky Fast sideline reporter Molly Robinson. Molly, what did you think of the Hewitt-Trussville performance tonight?
Oh, man. I mean, being out here on the sideline, you kind of heard it all week. It's different now that they're in region play.
Yeah.
And they wanted to bring the energy, especially with another high-power offense coming into town, Vestavia. But, I mean, the Huskies brought it. I was telling the players I interviewed post-game, I could feel the energy on the sideline. And I was texting Pat and Chad upstairs, like, I know you guys aren't down here, but my heart is beating through my chest. What's going on down here, the energy, the hype. And I got to talk to Jackson Webb, offensive lineman, and I told him, I was like, listen, I'm not on the line of scrimmage with you guys. I could feel it on the sidelines. I can't even imagine how it felt out there. And he said it pretty much felt the same, just everything through the roof, and the momentum was definitely toward the Huskies all night.
When they can run the ball like that, I mean, that just gives a whole new level of, like, physicality and a whole different feel when you can just own your opponent like that.
I mean, when you have almost 400 yards, not total, just rushing on the ground, it's a pretty good night. I'm not on the line of scrimmage with the guys like I told Jackson Webb, but, you know, that's a pretty good night, and especially for a guy like Deuce Alston. I mean, him coming out, he's a workhorse, and watching him run, he is just such a fun player to watch.
Yeah. How about the play of freshman Jack Floyd at quarterback?
I know. I asked him about them, and you know what? I'll give him credit because he gave praise to the O-line. He said, I found the gap, and I ran right through, and I got to put 6 more on the board. So and it's incredible watching him, too, because when Zach Benedict was hurt last week, you kind of wonder, okay, we have a freshman coming in. How is this going to go? Because you never know with a freshman. But, I mean, Jack Floyd, he's come in. He's been confident. He's given it his all. And really huge praise to him.
How impressive have you been? I mean, 3-0 start for this Huskies team. They look like they feel good with where they are right now.
The team is very confident, which is really good. And you want that, especially as you head into region play. We joked about it pregame. You know, this region, we like to call it the old SEC West of Alabama high school football because it is so competitive. And you really never know what you're going to get every week. But, I mean, Hewitt just won their 6th straight against Vestavia, so what more can you ask for? And it's a good sign heading into Hoover next week as well.
Yep, great sign for the Huskies here at their home field. They go to 3-0. Molly, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yep.
We came back, you know, they came back and scored, and then that's when we had the long run with Deuce. I thought was a huge play because, again, we had to respond to their response, you know, and so then our defense held them out of the end zone the rest of the game.
Seemed like Jack took care of the football, and he's not scared of anything. That seemed like a good combination.
No, Jack's not scared, man. He's been doing this thing for a long time, and I think the youngest brother probably helps, you know, being in that house. Jack's played against older kids his entire life, so I don't think this moment fazed him at all. But just proud of the way he competed.
How big was Parker coming in and leading that first drive?
Oh, no, I thought Parker did great, got us going. You know, Parker can definitely play there. You know, we probably would have played Parker a few more drives, but, you know, some of those drives were so long, you know, and they were on the field for a long time. And so, I mean, I saw him coming off field a couple times on defense, and I was like, man, I can't put him back in there right now, you know. So he was ready all night to go back in. He's a competitor, too. But just our guys played hard. You know, it was a good, scrappy win.
Hewitt-Trussville wins the Under the Lights game of the week over Vestavia Hills. I'm joined by Jeff Allison, Alabama 7A football on Twitter. Jeff, really, really impressed with the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies tonight.
Oh, yeah. I just thought they played a really, really good game without their quarterback who was injured, and they, you know, had to use Parker in the first series, and he led him to a touchdown. Jack Floyd came in, played well for a freshman, you know, but he's been around that offense forever, you know, growing up junior high and getting to play varsity. So he knows the offense. I think that was a big key for them tonight.
Yeah. You've seen this Vestavia Hills team a couple times. I mean, the scoreboard, you know, says they lost by 2 touchdowns tonight, but this was a tie ball game up until Deuce Alston broke off a big 70-yard run. This Vestavia team is they're right in the thick of it in Region 3.
Oh, for sure. The scrappy team, you know, talking to Will Phillips, you know, their number one goal was not to give up that big play. Auburn gave up some big plays last week, and they wanted to make sure that they did not get behind the defense, and the Huskies did that tonight, kept the ball in front of them. And even though Hewitt, Vestavia had some 2 good drives, it still ate up the clock as long as, you know, and Hewitt ate up the clock. So once they got down 2 scores, it was going to be tough for Vestavia.
It seemed like coming into the year, this Hewitt Trustful team had the chance to be one of the best that they've had in several years. And even without starting quarterback Zach Benedict tonight, they kind of took another step forward. How good do you think this team can be?
When I looked at them before the year, I really had them just a notch below Thompson.
Yeah.
I had them number, I think, 3 in my rankings, and nothing tonight disproved that. I think defensively, we know what they have on defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's can they get enough on offense with Zach out for probably next 4, 5, 6 weeks to keep this thing rolling.
Awesome.
Such a fun night out in Trustful as Hewitt Trustful gets the win in the game of the week. But there were a few other games to touch on here on this Friday night. The Under the Lights post-game show presented by KEYSYS. Let's run through a few of the other results. I think you got to start with the shocker in Hoover as Hillcrest Tuscaloosa travels over to Hoover in the Class 7A Region 3 opener and beats Hoover 34-26. It's hard to even conceptualize what happened because, I mean, you look down early in the evening as we're all kind of getting going in our games, and the first thing I see is Hillcrest is up 22-0 in the middle of the first quarter. Like, this wasn't something that just kind of slowly happened. Hillcrest was up 22-0 less than 6 minutes into the ball game, and they just held on from there. You knew Hoover would kind of come back, and they cut it to a one-possession game at halftime. But looking at the stats here, Hillcrest just found a way to hang on. It looks like Hoover eventually even outgained Hillcrest, but that 22-0 start was enough. Jacoby Harris for Hillcrest over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. And the Hoover offense just wasn't quite able to get it going. So kind of a crazy night for the Bucks. Man, that's a surprising loss. Just based on what I saw from them against Spain Park last week. But Hillcrest, with the win of the night to beat Hoover 34-26, it's kind of the other Region 3 game of big interest outside of the Hewitt Trustful Vestavia game that we saw. If you want another result, I know I saw Thompson beat Tuscaloosa County 69-0. And the other game in Class 7A Region 3, Prattville beats Oak Mountain 27-6. So the Eagles take their first loss. That's going to hurt if the Eagles really were hoping for playoff contention this year. It was going to be an uphill climb to get there anyways. But now with an opening loss to Prattville, that's going to be really, really hard. Let's see. Mountain Brook knocks off Hueytown 30-24 in overtime. That's pretty cool to see. Let's see if we can dig up some of the results from it. Yeah, it looked like it was a back and forth game. Stuart Andrews had a good night per usual on the ground. Let's see, 26 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown for Stuart. But yeah, this game went to overtime. Hueytown kicks a field goal in overtime, and then Caden Hoffbauer hits Sam Smith for the game-winning touchdown in overtime, 30-27. Mountain Brook wins that one in overtime. Good win for the Spartans. That was their last non-region game before they kind of get into the meat of their schedule. You want to look at a couple other results. Pelham beats Chelsea 19-7. That's a tough one for Chelsea. I know they were kind of hoping for a little bit more than that. Yeah, for Chelsea, the typical two-headed the duo of Chase Malone and Morgan Barnes had solid nights, but that clearly just wasn't quite enough. Chase Malone, 18 carries, 92 yards. Morgan Barnes, 8 carries for 89 yards. But the Hornets will drop their first game of the year. Homewood beats Mortimer Jordan 49-7. We kind of thought they were going to be able to name their score, and it looks like they did just that. You kind of dig into it a little bit, and Caleb Carson, he threw 4 touchdown passes in just one half of football. It was 35-0 at the half, and Homewood just rolls from there. So the Patriots off to a 3-0 start. John Carroll falls to 0-3 with a 32-16 loss to Carver. And finally, Clay Chalkville beats Pell City 52-9, another dominant showing for the Cougars as they just show that they are the real deal in Class 6A. So yeah, a really good night of high school football. So before we go, I want to tell you a little bit about the game I was at Thursday night. Briarwood beats Ramsey 14-13. It took this Briarwood team a little while to kind of get going last year, and this year they start 0-2, and it's kind of like, is this going to be the same old thing like last year? But to start 1-0 in region play for them against a good team like Ramsey, such a big deal for them. It looks like they found something at quarterback. Sophomore Jamison Barnes had like 79 rushing yards. He scored both touchdowns on the ground. So we will see what the offense kind of evolves into. He didn't throw it a ton. They have Charles Dedman for that. So we're going to have to see how they kind of mix things up. But before we go, I want to give you a moment to hear from head coach Matthew Forster and the quarterback Jamison Barnes about the Briarwood win.
That had to feel good, didn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you take on a quality program like Ramsey, Coach Jackson does the things the right way, and you're able to battle. I mean, we both played incredibly tough schedules. It's the best 0-2 matchup in 5A, I think, right now. And so we knew it was going to be close. We knew it was going to be tight. We preached all week. It's got to be a 4-quarter game. Like, it's not just one half. You can't let how you start dictate how we finish. And so incredibly proud to give up to an explosive offense, only 14 points. It was pretty doggone good at 13. And then for our offense to figure out a way and really move the ball because we were running it down their throats at the end.
It was awesome. It was awesome. But, I mean, I couldn't have done it without my O-line and all those guys playing their butts off. So it was awesome.
Well, that's a wrap on week 3. This has been the Under the Lights postgame show presented by KEYSYS, KEYSYS.io. AI, anything AI that they can tailor to your business. Reach out to them and enjoy your college football this weekend. NFL starts in earnest on Sunday as well. So thanks for watching. It's been a loaded week. We will have week 4 coming before you know it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.